Hi, I'm here to review this film, The Tale of the Princess Kaguya. This is a Studio Ghibli film, and it's directed by Izuho Takahata, who this was the last film he worked on. Very brilliant, thought provoking director. Love his work and very dearly missed. And I think his legacy should live on as one of the best directors. He really was a brilliant visionary, and this film certainly proves that. And The Tale of the Princess Kaguya is one of the greatest princess stories, one of the best princess films I've seen. It really shows you think that, oh, being a princess, it's this life of glamour, it's this amazing thing. Of course, a lot of Disney movies, think like, oh, being a princess is the best thing. It's fancy, it's beautiful, it's where dreams come true. It's, of course, being royalty, you're treated fancy, you have tons of money and power, and it's the best thing. And the tale of the Princess Kaguya kind of shows being a princess in a much different light. There's this character. She's kind of known as Little Bamboo at first. It's kind of like her cute little nickname. She's discovered by this like bamboo cutter, and this bamboo cutter, I think, kind of just lives in the woods, and this has like a small little home, but probably like this poor guy, and like poor, like doesn't really have much money, if really any money, and he kind of just cuts bamboo and is married, and he and his wife, they decide to raise this girl they just kind of find in the woods that kind of just shows up out of nowhere. And so Little Bamboo kind of grows up, becomes friends with like the boys that live around the area, and they're just kind of playing, having fun. But it turns out Little Bamboo is apparently this royal princess from the moon. I know this sounds strange. It is a bit of a fantasy thing, but it's a beautiful, it's a beautifully moving and sometimes touching, realistic story. Of course, fantasy movies can be good, touching stories, but I know it sounds strange. Yes, she does come from the moon, and apparently the people from the moon, they think like, oh, if Little Bamboo or Princess Kaguya, who I guess is her name, if she's gonna stay there, then we're gonna send her this gold. So the bamboo gutter sees the gold and is think like, oh, this is a sign that Kaguya isn't meant to be raised in the woods with sticks and stuff. She deserves to be in a palace. So with the gold and stuff, he's apparently able to, I think, like buy this palace, and it's like, oh, you have to leave the woods, Kaguya, leave your friends behind. But this is good. This is the life you want. Kind of, basically telling her what she wants and saying, like, this is the good life, being raised in this fancy palace. So at first, she sees all these fancy dresses and stuff, and it's like, oh, this is fun. I miss my friends, but this is cool. But the thing is, the surprising thing about the movie and Princess Kaguya is like, she misses her old life. She misses actually being in the woods. She really misses her friends. She had this friend, I think, Stay Manu, and there's kind of a bit of a potential romance developing between them, and she was close friends, and she just enjoyed hanging out with her adopted father and mother, and hanging out in the woods. But now she's like this royal princess. There's this like strict woman telling her what to do. There's these suitors who are all trying to marry her because, oh, they hear about how beautiful she is. So he's like, oh, I have to have her, marry me, princess. So it kind of shows like, oh, you think being royalty, you think that's great. You think you just have this average home, then that's not special. But the Princess Kaguya is the movie is a beautiful reminder of just appreciating what you have, and can help you realize that maybe just having just a plain home, and if you're surrounded by the people you love, and even if it is you don't have tons of extra money and power and fame, just being around the people you love, that could mean more than being in this fancy palace where you're kind of told how you're supposed to feel, what you're supposed to do. You're kind of surrounded by people who are kind of just, kissing up to you, and it's not the same. It's like just genuine love, and it's a beautiful representation of appreciating what matters in life. And Princess Kaguya herself is a fantastic protagonist who's basically given this spoiled lifestyle, but actually doesn't want it. She prefers a more modest lifestyle, and it makes her this really interesting, really sympathetic and likable character, and her struggles are really emotional and moving. And like the bamboo cutter was kind of, forcing this lifestyle on her, but it's because he genuinely loves her and thinks this will genuinely be what will make her happy. And so it's a very interesting conflict, and they do humanize a lot of the characters. Like some of the suitors are kind of more immature and greedy and just want her because she's beautiful, while some actually work hard to try to at least impress her. So again, a lot of the characters have development, and there's a lot of sophistication and beautiful moments. And it's at times not the most uplifting movie, but it's a very emotionally powerful movie with a lot of representation about what matters in life. And it's so emotional, it's so moving. It's a little over 2 hours. It is a long movie, and I think it earns it because it shows this girl's life and what she goes through, and it's such an emotionally powerful and beautiful movie. Beautiful music. You got fantastic voice acting. Chloe Grace Moretz is Princess Kaguya. You have like James Caan and Lucy Liu, and just a lot of talent. And it's a very, very emotionally moving movie. Aizo Takahata really did, he came back pretty much, didn't really want to make movies anymore, and he came back to make this masterpiece, and it's a beautiful, moving movie, and I think it was a great final film for him to make, and I'm very thankful that he made it. And the animation is so classic looking. It's this very unique design. I don't think I've ever seen a movie with the same kind of visuals. I think you really do have to see the movie to fully understand what I'm talking about with the animation, but it looks spectacular, and it's so creative, inventive, and unique. And this movie, last time I checked, it has 100% on Rotten Tomatoes. Rotten Tomatoes often not, necessarily the most reliable, but in this case, it earned that 100% rating. It really is that good.